Gina Barney's here today to show us different options on fabric flowers. So welcome, Gina.
Hi, good to be here.
Well, fabric flowers are so popular right now, and you have many options to show us today. So show us the first.
We've got a lot. Let's start by we love to use our cute little 2.5-inch strips.
Yeah,
And
roly-polies come. You get a lot of fabric options, don't you?
Yes. We've used our chevrons. And what you'll do is take one piece. So what I like to do is actually, this one right here is a small one. And you can see that this one is using the whole 40 inches or so. So if you don't want to waste, you can either get 2 out of one long strip.
So just cut your roly-poly in half.
Right.
Your
So this is a 2.5-inch strip, and we've just cut it down to 22 inches. So what we'll do is fold that in half like this. And what I do is begin stitching a running stitch at the corner.
At the fold.
At the fold. So, and I'll start at the fold and go up to my raw edge and go all the way along. I also like to take and trim off my corner there.
So you've got your 2 threads knotted at the bottom.
Right, double thread. You'll do your running stitch all the way to the end. When you get to the end here, you'll keep doing your running stitch, which is basically just a down up stitch. We use like a nice big 1/4-inch stitch. You don't have to be little and tiny.
And I made the big long one.
Yes, you
so
did.
I'll finish mine too.
And so as you're getting towards your corner right here, round it out. So you're going all the way, and that just pulls in all your little loose ends. And then again, I just like to cut off that little piece right there.
Because
So
it just pulls in your corner, doesn't it?
Yes. And once you've got that point, as you're finishing there,
I'm almost
you're going to round it up to your corner. And then you'll trim off that little edge. And then we're just going to gather. Now, if you want to gather it really, really tightly, you can do that. I suggest doing it a little bit looser and folding as you gather. So gather slightly and then just roll. So you take your little corner, it's already going to pull it in for you, and just take that in. And then just do a few running stitches across the back there to hold that in place. And you'll just keep doing that. And like I said, I think it looks a little better when you just kind of gather that in and take a little stitch across the back. Sometimes
this is such a great project for little girls to start learning
look
how to
cute
knot their thread and to just take.
It's a very cute beginner project. So you'll keep going, take a few stitches, pull in that end so that it's nice like this. Then what you can do is make sure all your ends are pulled in tight, and you can embellish in the middle with a little button. Now sometimes you'll run out of a thread and you'll want to stitch that just a few more times to get that nice and tight. So I would like to end this, and then I'll get my stitch and tighten those up and place it in the way that I like it. So I will need another thread because I'm running out. But what I'll do is once I get everything stitched, once that's laying nice and flat, I can put a little button in the middle. Now the other way in which to do this, like these ones, I like to take my long gathered strip and sew. These can be sewn on the machine. So you'll cut a little piece of felt. This is about a 2.5-inch circle. So depending on how big you want your embellishment, you can begin in the middle.
So instead of taking the time to sew by hand, you just put this on the machine.
Yeah,
and gather it along.
So gather the same way you would have, but this is gathered on the machine, or you can use your ruffle foot and ruffle it, which is really a lot quicker. Then you'll place it on here, begin in the middle, and start sewing all the way around in a little circle, so that what you end up doing is getting this in a circle all the way around your outside.
And
so
you just
very
lift
quick,
up
very simple.
the sides. So you start from the middle,
I start in the middle and work
and just
my
lift
way
up
out.
your sides.
Yeah.
Yeah, it has a nice finish, and it's nice and secure on that, isn't it?
You can take your little clippy, and you can place, what's nice is you can place another, you can glue this to the outside so that looks
To even
neat and tidy.
strengthen the structure a little bit.
and then glue with a little square piece right here. And then you can use it in your hair or on your clothing. This one's got the little clippy on here, and you can.
And it also has the
place it.
pin.
Yeah, and it just
This one
looks
has a
cute.
clip and a pin. So very fun,
adorable.
very fun. Now I see, so we use buttons on these. You use buttons on all of these.
Yes.
But you also have, I like this too.
So we're going to do a
This-
little twisty. So again,
So that's a nice
you're going to take
option
your
there.
little, here's a cute purple for you. And I'll get this aqua. And I like to take that 44-inch long strip and cut it. So I've got about a 2.5-inch strip
And
again.
mine's already
by-
cut, yeah.
Yep, I about 22.
Okay.
So you'll get, again, you'll have a little one like this. And then I've got one. And what we're going to do is you're going to take and you are going to fold it in half. What you'll do with your glue gun is put a little dab of glue right there in the center.
So this is the no sew option.
This is a no-sew twisted center. Twist it and kind of place that and hold that.
It's nice, this glue is not super hot.
Not super
enough.
hot. Now take
Hot
and
enough.
do a little circle because you're going to take and continue. And as you can see, I just kind of overlap, so I don't want anything.
Now I
in the
twisted my center.
Yes, and that's
that
great.
okay?
Yep,
All right.
absolutely. And you're just going to keep twisting
You just go
and
do a
placing.
circle right around.
Yeah, you don't want to move too far ahead because you don't want the glue everywhere. Be very careful. And don't put a lot of glue because you don't want it running up and through the middle of your
So you can
flower.
see it.
Yep. And you'll just keep twisting and twisting until you finally get to the end. Now let me show you a few things that I learned. On this one, you'll notice I started in the middle and went around the outside, but it left, you could see the white edge.
Mm-hmm.
So I suggest you could have cut it off earlier and do one more edge. If you notice this one went you need almost one more section to go around so you don't have that white showing through.
Okay.
And that gives
That's
you a
a
better
good
center.
suggestion.
The same concept for these, only done on the machine.
Yeah, you got your little zigzag all the way around there.
Yeah, you're just twisting and rolling and
So you're
zigzagging
twisting it, and then
The
you use
same-
your zigzag foot to just
to get.
the stitch to go
stitch that
around
all.
there. Your zigzag stitch.
But look how cute it is in the center for a
great.
flower, just stitched on.
Another, so if you didn't want to embellish with a button, adding a contrasting fabric was
Yeah, and you could place a
fantastic
button on
too.
top of that. But a fun.
Well, show
fun
us your
project.
onesie.
Now
So
this onesie.
not only for hair and to adorn as a
Right.
pennant, you can do it on a onesie.
Right,
That's a great
so
idea.
this onesie is twisted, only this is all done by hand because I didn't want the little onesie to have glue on it, and I wanted to be able to stitch the buttons. It's really hard once you've got glue to be able to put a button through it. So these are just all stitched by hand.
And a great way to secure it
Yep,
with
and
the
you
button.
can see, look at the back. You just got
Yeah.
little stitches pulling all those edges in, and then again just placed on the little
Cute.
onesie, and it's nice
I
and
love that.
soft.
Yeah, nice and soft.
And there you go. Lots of fun, creative ideas.
And also to, finish it off for a little one's headband, just get some elastic
Yes.
lace,
that's what these
sew
are.
it on.
So you've gathered, you've done some of your little twisted flowers.
I like the
put some little
beadwork in there.
pearls, cut some raw edge leaves, some little ribbon.
Little grosgrain ribbon. Oh, isn't that cute?
Here's this one too. I also love to take a piece of this and instead of folding it over, gathering just along the raw edge, and that gives you this outside flat piece. So
Oh,
just a
that's
little bit bigger
nice.
and a little more fluffy behind your.
And it's nice, the
Twisted.
set of threes.
Cute.
That's very nice.
Always
very nice.
use an odd number. It looks better.
That's great. Well, thanks so much for your tips, Gina. These are great projects, easy to make, and I think these would be great gifts for a newborn.
Yeah, I think so.
So thank you.
You're welcome.